So you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations, live in person.
Former world champion, he's now being talked about as an opponent for Anthony Joshua. Can that fight happen?
I think the fight can absolutely happen. I'm looking at it as Jake versus Joshua, which is quite biblical and it's quite impactful in many ways.
According to reports, the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight is officially set for January 2026, with sources confirming that serious negotiations are underway for the colossal crossover bout. Jake Paul's manager, Nikisa Baidarian, has confirmed the start of talks with Joshua's camp and promoter Edihan, while Saudi boxing power broker Turki Alalshik is reportedly backing the event. Potential venues currently under review include Wembley Stadium, various locations across the U.S., and sites in the Middle East, signaling the global scale and significance of this highly anticipated matchup.
Active discussions, how far things progress? Is it something that you can see happening next for Jake and for AJ?
I think we're looking at it happening in Q1 of 2026 is kind of the current discussion. I think it's public that AJ was taking a little time away, he had a little surgery. Once he's ready and once Jake is ready, we're going to squarely focus on that.
Concerns, aren't there, within the boxing world about Jake fighting someone as powerful as AJ? How much of a worry is that? We saw him did to Ghana.
So power is obviously the last thing to go. So obviously AJ has a ton of power and is still fairly young.
Jake Paul, fresh off his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., has dropped a major hint about a potential showdown with Anthony Joshua, saying it's looking very likely for next year. The two fighters have been exchanging messages, and Paul revealed that Joshua suggested staging the bout at the end of 2025, with a full-scale clash expected in early 2026. His manager, Nikisa Baidarian, echoed that sentiment, confirming that active discussions are underway for what he described as a biblical fight.
Now, I know you're after a world title, but if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that we've talked a lot about is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. He's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything is possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
Jake Paul backed up his public challenge with real momentum, stating that an insane clash with Anthony Joshua is exactly what he intends next following his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He directly called out Joshua on his podcast and doubled down after the fight, firmly declaring that Joshua is his top target. Paul's bold move signals his clear intent to shock the heavyweight world and take his boxing career to unprecedented heights.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua. I know I will beat. Yeah. He doesn't have a chance, and he has no skill, and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, but I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
Jake Paul insists that his proposed showdown with Anthony Joshua would be good for the sport of boxing, arguing that it brings fresh energy, new fans, and massive global attention. Describing himself as a breath of fresh air, Paul claimed that legends like Joshua, Tyson, Fury, and Pacquiao have all acknowledged the boost he brings to the sport. He emphasized that boxing needs revitalization and pointed out that his mainstream appeal draws in younger audiences who might not otherwise engage with traditional boxing, making his involvement a valuable asset to the sport's future.
So you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person, which are always fun. But it's going to happen, and it's just such an exciting fight that crosses the whole globe. when you ask a lot of people about certain boxers, they don't know their names. And everywhere I've been going, I just talk about Anthony, and I don't have, I'm global, so it's just such a good fight for the sport of boxing. And people will think I will die, but I will show them why I can rise against all odds and beat him.
Not everyone's been wanting to see who will be the king of the United Kingdom and who will be the queen of the United. Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight. And what I mean by that is politics. People trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money. Get in there. Make fucking decisions. One of the biggest fights that could happen over the past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing win this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight like men.
Eddie Hearn has confirmed that serious talks are underway for a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, targeted for early 2026. Joshua is expected to return to the ring in late 2025 following elbow surgery, setting the stage for the high-profile clash. Saudi boxing figure Turki Alalshik is reportedly supportive of staging the bout, further increasing the likelihood of the event taking place and adding significant backing to what could become one of the sport's biggest crossover spectacles.
The discussions with AJ are as follows. We will be ready to fight November, December. We are planning life without Jake Paul. But if that is for real, of course, we take that fight in a heartbeat. We don't think that. I don't just think Jake's doing it purely for publicity, but at the same time, will he actually do it? We'll find out soon, but we're up for it. But we can't just live in the world of waiting for Jake Paul. So we're going to fight December, maybe early January.
Eddie Hearn, meanwhile, has issued a strong warning to Jake Paul, acknowledging the massive financial opportunity but stressing that stepping into the ring with a peak heavyweight like Anthony Joshua is extremely dangerous and not something to be taken lightly. While Hearn recognizes the entertainment and business value of the bout, he made it clear that the physical risk involved in facing an elite-level fighter like Joshua is very real.
Jake Paul could last 3 rounds with Anthony Joshua. 3, 2, 1. You've seen he's called him out, presumably.
Yeah, in 2026. I mean, that's like me saying I'm going to go for the gold at the 2028 Olympics. It's clickbait, but he might just be mad to have a go. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. I mean, you saw a guy who has the same size as AJ and who has much more ability than Jake Paul, which is Francis Ngannou. And you saw what happened to him, and that was scary for a while. So, yeah, we can joke about it, but I don't recommend it.
I like Jake. He's a good promoter, very good promoter, and he's a funny guy. He's got a great sense of humour, got good people around him, so they know what they do. There's a massive weight disparity, and that's a tough thing to give away, especially with somebody who's got so much physical advantage over him, and he's a young guy. AJ, he's not an old guy, he's a young guy. Will it happen? Who knows? Anything happens sometimes in our sport. But I think that is a big ask of Jake beating him. Big ask.
Where are you on this nonsense?
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it. I just can't. It just obviously someone who's been a unified heavyweight world champion going in against Jake, it just doesn't. Yeah, and it's like I'm also talking from a health and safety factor. It's like he's maybe a cruiserweight. Yeah. I think Joshua's a very big, strong heavyweight, and if he turns it on, it's not just a risk of a knockout. It's a much bigger risk. So I can't see it. Personally, but it's good talking point, I guess.
Eddie Hearn acknowledged the buzz generated by Tyson Fury's assessment, but made it clear that there's nothing evenly matched about a fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. In a candid interview, Hearn stated that if anyone truly sees it as a 50-50 fight, they're viewing it purely from a promotional standpoint rather than a realistic boxing perspective, emphasizing the clear gap in experience, size, and skill between the two fighters.
with AJ and Frank Bruno up there, the past, the current of it. So you're in now, son. You're in the deep end, and he's a good kid and a great fighter. I'm sure people are going to love being part of the journey.
Yeah, I know you're in a bit of a rush here, so I'll move on to Tyson Fury. Are you shocked that Tyson Fury announced he's going to come back to ring? And did you expect him to want Usyk rather than AJ?
I think that he's always going to want to avenge a defeat. I mean, look, he feels that he won both of those fights. You know, I thought they were very close. Don't think he won them, but you know, maybe he does fight Usyk again. We can't control what Fury does. I gave up trying to do that years ago. You've seen from the response online, no one's really interested in Fury against Usyk 3, and everyone wants the AJ fight. But the minute I come out and start saying this and saying that, it probably rolls us back. So what I'm going to say is, good luck, Tyson Fury. Do whatever you want to do. Hopefully, it involves giving the public the biggest fight the country's ever had.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him, and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. You know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world, make the fight.
Last one. What next for Dave Allen?
Well, Dave Allen's been an incredible project the last couple of months. I mean, look, we've been talking to Deontay Wilder, we've been talking to Joseph Parker.
Tony Bellew, former WBC cruiserweight champion, called a potential matchup between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul dangerously insane, raising serious safety concerns due to Paul's significant size and experience disadvantage. Bellew emphasized that while the fight may generate attention, the physical mismatch poses real risks, especially when facing a seasoned and powerful heavyweight like Josh.
It's a possibility to happen. It's a possibility that an alien might have found on the back now. It's a possibility. I'm not saying the outcome of the fight, but there's a possibility that this fight could happen. It's a fight. In the same sentence, said Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. This is a guy who was on the Disney Channel, made his name big from the Disney Channel. And I haven't really slated this guy because I think he's doing some of the things he's doing for boxing is brilliant. The job he's doing with the women, fantastic. I went into a gym the week before he fights Tommy Fury, and there were 200 kids in the gym on Tuesday night. Kids, he's a big part of that, in the in the world. But in the same sentence, he's fought one live boxer in his career, and he lost. What would you say if I put Tommy Fury in with Anthony Joshua?
Jake Paul's promoter, Nakisa Baidarian, has directly addressed concerns over the physical disparity between Paul and Anthony Joshua, stating, size-wise, we can get comfortable with it. Paul is reported to walk around at 210 to 215 pounds, compared to Joshua, who typically weighs in closer to 252 pounds. Baidarian argued that Paul's strength, athleticism, and rapid development as a heavyweight make the matchup viable. He emphasized that Paul's experience facing bigger names, like the scheduled bout with Mike Tyson, and his continued growth in the ring give their team confidence in closing the physical gap. However, across the boxing world, professionals ranging from fighters to trainers and promoters continue to express serious concerns about the legitimacy, safety, and long-term legacy of this fight. While the commercial potential is widely acknowledged, very few view it as a truly credible contest.